what Milwaukee did. We're going to sit here.
We're going to sit here so nicely.
We're going to sit here and talk about all the offense of these other guys because it's fun to talk about. Oh, this is what Brooklyn, Kyrie, and okay, that's great.
I was trying to set you up for my next point. I was trying to set you up for my next point because there was more.
What Milwaukee did, but what Milwaukee did is the follow. Okay,
Serge Ibaka, the shot blocker. Did
is they address what all championship teams know. I don't care about scoring. If I don't score, Mo, and you don't score, the score is 0-0. That's a championship mentality. All of this screen roll, James Harden is not going to intimidate me on a screen roll if I'm Giannis and Serge Ibaka and Brook Lopez. No, that's not. I don't care. But what I know I have to do to win that game is I got to get a stop.
Yep,
I got to get a stop. Now, Serge Ibaka addressed their need. They need another rim protector because their key rim protector, Brook Lopez, is currently hurt. So they went out patiently, and addressed that need. And I'm going to tell you this here right now. I'm not going to wait till 2 weeks from now or 3. I don't know who else is going to be in the conference finals, but Milwaukee is going to be there.
I hear it.
So you can Brooklyn, Miami, Chicago, and Philadelphia. I don't know who else is going to be there, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Giannis and company will be there now because now they got a shot blocker. And I ain't even say they primary shot blocker because Giannis, we already know what he can do on the defensive end.
Well, that's why they need these guys here because then say you are playing against a team with a great big, Joel Embiid. You can put these Brook Lopez or Serge Ibaka on them, and then Giannis comes and helps off the weak side and blocks that shot once it's going up. That's how the Milwaukee Bucks play their defense. I love that trade for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Stop anybody in this league.
I think that's the most underrated move of today, is because it happened early on.
Every team in the league, every championship caliber team did the same thing. They addressed the other side of the ball.
I'm saying underrated. I ain't heard no one talking about this except for us.
Because it's not the fun thing to talk about. Phoenix, they're the first or second best defensive team in the league. Milwaukee.
And while we're talking about Phoenix, they made a trade today, which is fantastic. They went and reacquired Torrey Craig, who missed the finals and stuff because he was injured. He went to sign in Indiana, but he's given them more wing depth. He can do what Jay Crowder does. You know, when I talked about the Suns on Sky Sports recently, and I said they need a little bit more depth in case someone gets injured. Now, if Bridges gets injured, if Crowder gets injured, they've got Torrey Craig right there. I said today, we're going to have a rematch of those two in the finals, the Suns and the Bucks. I don't care about all the other stuff that's happened. Once those two made those moves, I tweeted out, because tonight they're playing each other, right? They're playing each other in Phoenix tonight. I said, here we're having a preview of the NBA Finals. I was just about to say this. JaVale McGee, Golden State Warriors, 2 championships. Gets to the Lakers, wins the championship. Gets to the Phoenix Suns. This season, I'm thinking championship 2. Is JaVale McGee secretly the MVP of the NBA? The most valuable player.
JaVale McGee is interesting in today's game. Why? But any big that does this, because they can do something that doesn't require you to run a play for. If you have a guard that can get in the paint, there's only one. The last line of defense is the big.
Yep.
You can't rotate to a 7-footer playing vertical basketball with a little guy.
Yep.
This is why Chris Paul and Devin Booker are, I mean, look, those guys are excellent anyway. But when you have vertical players, DeAndre Ayton, JaVale McGee, Bismack Biyombo, all of those guys can do what? They can catch the lob. Mm-hmm. Now, Rudy Gobert and all those other bigs, they have to make a decision. And what's the decision more times than not? He might miss the jump shot, but he more than likely 99% of the time, he going to make that alley-oop dunk.
Yep.
And you have to have bigs who can play vertical basketball, because guess what you're trying to do in the playoffs? You're just trying to score any way you can, Mo.
Yep.
And Mo, you're playing against the best defensive team. That's why you're in the finals. Yep. So it gets harder to score. But if you have a guy that can just catch an alley-oop because he can get to the lane, like Steph Curry or Devin Booker or Chris Paul, Mo. Suddenly now that guy is of value. Do you realize every time Drew Holiday goes to the basket, he didn't have to worry about anybody trying to block his shot? Why? Because no one's leaving Giannis.
Yep.
No one's going to leave Giannis. So Drew Holiday scores. You know why he's scoring right now? Because that lane is wide open, Mo. And then to really make sure it's wide open, Brook Lopez is probably the only legit stretch five in the NBA.
Oh, he shoots the ball at a great clip.
Okay. So, Mo, that's a huge advantage for any guard.
So are we saying it's going to be a Suns Bucks? Because now the trade deadline's over. We've seen everyone make their moves. Right now, as it stands, I'm saying Suns Bucks to this point. The Lakers have failed me. Brooklyn, they might get it together. They might not. Suns Bucks is looking the most likely finals. Is that what you're saying too?
Mo, I'm saying this. It's one thing I know I can do consistently every night. I can give the effort and energy on the defensive end. And what I'm saying right now, if we aren't shooting well in the league, I always take away the offense. Let's say everyone is not playing well. Who has the best defense to keep them in the game when they're not playing well?
I feel you.
Right now, the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
Okay.
The Warriors need Draymond back.
Golden State last night. Did you watch Golden State last night? Right.
Oh, they were horrible.
Golden State. You can see the problems without Draymond, right? Clearly, when Draymond comes, he's going to fill those gaps.
They're not the Warriors without Draymond.
Steve Kerr said something that was interesting. He was like, we looked little last night. Here's a team that they were the leading organization for small ball. These bigs now are beginning and they're learning how to play against small ball.
Yep. And the thing is, though, with the small ball is they had great defenders in that 6'6", 6'7" range. They had Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston. So anytime they switch, you're still being guarded by a guy who has. So even though it is small ball, those guys are still not that small. Steph is just the small guy that was out there with them. Whereas now with the team that they've got, they don't have Sean Livingston. Andre Iguodala is a lot older. Klay Thompson coming off an injury. Draymond Green is not there. So I can see the holes in it. So they need to make sure they get healthy. Klay Thompson gets back to full fitness.
Right.
Andre Iguodala kind of preserves himself for the playoffs because otherwise,
well, he's got to. He's up there in age right now. And this is what I'm saying. And Milwaukee, yesterday, Milwaukee just put a smile on my face. They just I was like, oh, they were just laying in the weeds waiting on the right player. They just found the right player.
Yep, because
you know what? If they win this year, they should thank the Clippers because the Clippers gave them a gift. I thought the Bulls, because we talked about them earlier, I thought the Bulls, that was a team that I thought if I were the Bulls, I would have really tried to go after him, Serge Ibaka. Because when you watch the Bulls don't have a rim protector.
Like
they don't have
all the offense, but defense is just not there.
You need rim protection. And the Bulls, they're right there. I mean, they got two guys who can score with the best of them. But they need some rim protection. I just want
to say one thing, as great as rim protection is as well, Serge Ibaka is shooting 39% from 3-point line.
I really like this move from Milwaukee because, listen, I don't know if he's as consistent from three as Brook.
No, Brook Lopez was 50%.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you this. Serge Ibaka will be able to mimic that, and I think that's good enough.
And when Brook comes back, they got Serge Ibaka and Bobby Portis coming off the bench.
And I think it's that I really like. Yeah, I think it really. So I think they will. If I'll say it, I think they're about to go on a run now. After All-Star, I think they're going to go on a run, and I think they're going to really, really make a statement because I think now you're going to see the teams begin to ramp up a little bit. And what my man Giannis did out here in LA, that wasn't a mistake. He came out here and put everybody on notice.
That was big time. He ain't playing no games.
He came out here to let everybody know.
AD, you can't hold me. LeBron, your time's up.
It's his league now.
Facts.
And I think now he went out. They got what they need now. And I think they're about to go on a run because they got the best player. They got the best player, I think, on both sides of the ball.
Man, listen, I can't wait for the rest of the season.